Hey everybody, this is Eric from Supportive Venture, and if you feel that inflation is hitting you hard, have you considered moving to another cheaper country? I'm going to talk about this in this video because I feel it's at the core of what people should be strategizing in the era of remote work, because things are now more remote than ever. You know, I started remote only working in 2013. I started working remotely in 2007. And I really have to say, it's amazing how much the world has embraced this movement. And it's amazing how much you can get a better deal for your money, like on all sorts of lifestyle essentials, as well as, you know, basic enjoyment of life. If you move abroad, if you go to another country, if you travel the world and find a place that inspires you, that happens to be cheaper, and you just are willing to go outside of the Western countries, are the main ones that I'm talking about here. Because the Western countries are so expensive, whether it's Canada, Australia, whether it's Western Europe like Switzerland or Norway are the most expensive, but even like places like the UK, Ireland and stuff like that, super expensive compared to the places that you could be living. Now, a lot of people think that outside of the West, outside of the English-speaking countries or Western Europe and stuff like that, it's dangerous or something like that, or, you know, the standard of living is poor, the medical standards are poor. And I would ask you to, just reevaluate this idea, because the world's come a long way since those stereotypes were formed. Places that didn't have great infrastructure before now can have excellent infrastructure. And in any country, there's always a different range of neighborhoods that you could live in. And in a lot of places, you can get a cultural experience that you would never have before at home. Yeah. Like I moved to Serbia when I was about 25 years old. That's what ultimately led to this business supported venture. And it's just a fraction of the cost of the country Canada, where I grew up and am from. And, with remote working, if you're a really talented professional, you can make comparable sums of money if you prove yourself. And definitely if you get even like what's a mediocre salary or a living wage, barely living wage in a place like Canada, UK, US, Australia, you can live an excellent life in a place like Serbia, Colombia, Thailand are some of my favorites. Mexico as well, one of the favorites. And just overall Southeast Asia, South America, Latin America in general, and Southeastern Europe. So think about it. You will end up likely as an expat in a neighborhood where other expats like to congregate, and you could have a social circle of expats that speak the same language as you. I'm guessing English since you're watching this video, and you end up in these like lovely places. Like right now I'm sitting in this apartment, recording studio in my apartment in the center of Belgrade, Serbia. And I'm literally 2 minutes from the main fortress, 2 minutes from the main walking street, and about 20 seconds away from 2 or 3 different grocery stores. And 2 minutes away from a big shopping mall where they have pretty much everything a shopping mall has, and a huge supermarket in there. So this is a life of convenience. And for this amount of money, I would never be able to have a life I was satisfied with in Canada. But this is actually here, like the top of the top of the top, like in terms of location at least. And you end up in these places like, even with like a really average income in Canada, you can end up living a really good upper middle class sort of lifestyle in an affluent neighborhood in places like I mentioned, in countries of this sort of economic orientation of developing economies, let's call them, as many do. So I would say, like, go and travel on vacation to some of these places. Also, you can upgrade your weather. You can upgrade your weather by traveling to, for example, Latin America. In the winter, when it's cold in North America, in Latin America, it can be very, very, very nice. And places like Medellin, Colombia are pretty much nice year-round. Here in Southeast Europe, it's not a huge upgrade from Canada because there still is a winter. There still is a time. It snows a couple times a year. Some people like that. I'm not big on seasons, so I've decided to live half here and half in Thailand. And remote working gives me the opportunity to do so. And so it's all about having the courage to get out and explore. And not only can you get better value for your money, but you can actually have enriching cultural experiences that will stay with you for the rest of your life. and really have gone outside and learned a different culture and language, which, you know, some people find it challenging being in a different culture and the culture shock and all that sort of stuff. I say the differences between different places, especially if you're in like a nice sort of upper middle class neighborhood like I am right now, the cultural differences are not as huge as they would be in these types of countries. But, you know, everybody finds it, living in a different country, way of growing themselves and sort of like enriching their understanding of the world and learning about different stuff, different cultures, different languages, different food cuisines, and all that sort of stuff. So what's stopping you from getting out there is what I'm asking in this video. What's stopping you from wanting to just like check a place out, and if you love it, move there? For us, it's a supportive venture. We are heavily biased towards this sort of perspective on life because we've actually really built the business based on finding other people who are like us and wanted opportunities to work remotely. So if you're an IT support technician and you have experience with stuff like Windows servers or desktops and helping in customer service, just sort of take a look at our website, Support a Venture. We'll put the link in the description below, and you can apply for a job with us. And yeah, there's lots of information on our website, blogs and stuff like that, which will help you understand the remote lifestyle, the ramifications of all of it, the formalities you have to go to get residence in different countries. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot. Take care.